what we've been able to do this year.
He's going to go! No one's ever done this.
We just continue to find ways to win.
I always believe we could achieve more than what people give us credit for. You're never out the fight till the clock hits 0.
Going up for McLaurin in the end zone! How good is that guy?
All you need is an opportunity. Win or go home.
The NFC Championship is an all-Eastern affair, and it will involve that great Eagles defense against this unbelievable quarterback in Jayden Daniels. Let's dive into some tape here, Dan, and what exactly is the biggest challenge that Washington will pose?
The number one thing Philadelphia will have to stop is in the no-huddle offense from Washington, the different ways they get to 4-by-1 formation and really run the modern version of the triple option. Okay, 4-by-1, so they got a wide bunch up here. It's not close, it's super far. And if you want to blitz off of this edge, a couple things happen. Number one, I got 3 up top and you only have 2. Even if you have 3, I'm still an advantage. This is a triple option. I can hand it off with pullers, I could be a ball carrier, or I could kick that perimeter screen out there. This is why Washington's so difficult to handle, because you got a body on a body in the block game. That ball gets thrown 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and it's a touchdown for Terry McLaurin. So you got pullers that Jayden Daniels can hand the ball off to. It's a really good run game. And then you have the opportunity where Jayden Daniels can read and go, I can be the ball carrier. We know he's one of the most athletic quarterbacks in football. Or then, I don't like either option 1 or 2, kick the ball out to the perimeter. And now as a defense, think about it. You are spread so sideline to sideline. You have so many things moving laterally that you can get outflanked really quickly, and that's how a short throw becomes a huge gain. If Philadelphia doesn't handle all of the things attached to that, they can give up 20-plus, 30-plus points in this game.
Well, that's really well done. Let me get the guys in here, particularly J-Mac. Where's my defensive back here? Because he just talked about the ways that it, for lack of a better word, puts you in a bind as a defender, right? So talk me through that side of it. I'll remind everybody, these teams met in late December, and Jayden Daniels threw 5 touchdowns against this great Eagles defense. We just watched the outstanding tape that Dan did. Talk to me about what a defender is thinking when this is going on.
Well, one of the challenges we saw in that tape was Detroit was bringing pressure. You had Branch coming off the edge. And for Jayden Daniels, he's so fast with the decision-making and the processing that he gets the ball out there, and now it's a big play. So if you're them, you have to figure out a way to get pressure without blitzing Jayden Daniels. And they did that some in the first meeting and a little bit in the second meeting, where you're rushing a 4-man rush, but you're doing it in multiple ways, where you're bringing a 5th guy and dropping a defensive lineman from that line, and now it creates pressure or simulated pressure for Jayden Daniels and forces him to either leave the pocket or make a quick throw. So for the Philadelphia Eagles and Vic Fangio, it's a lot of showing him something but doing another, but absolutely do not blitz him.
Here's the funny part. When they don't huddle up and they use tempo, and sometimes it's a controlled tempo, sometimes it's to go fast, right? But to have that luxury at your disposal really puts the defense in a bind, because as a defensive play caller, you can't really call sometimes what you want to call on that respected play, because they aren't huddling up and they're using tempo to their advantage.
And the part about that I think that's unique in this matchup is they're in the same division. So this is the 3rd time that this Eagles defense is going to see that no huddle of Jayden Daniels, because that was the thing. You, as a defense, go throughout an entire season. If you don't play against teams that do no huddle, you get in that game and you don't have a plan for it, or you haven't been able to rep it. For them, it's like, all right, the first game, wow, now we see what it is. The second game, by the time the 3rd game comes, you know exactly what to expect, and you're going in with a plan to beat that.
I also think the other part is they do so much offensively, Washington, that you don't see in the NFL often. You know, a lot of times, J-Mac, you're playing against the Los Angeles Rams. Well, it's the Sean McVay. Or you're playing against the Detroit Lions. It's Ben Johnson. So it kind of comes from that tree. So you kind of know what the body of stuff you're going to see is. With Washington, they throw so much at you.
And the pullers.
And you don't see it a lot. Like last week, they took 4 wide receivers and put them on the field at the same time and sent them sideline to sideline, almost like the Tennessee Volunteers do. And then as a defense, you're like, wait, what? I don't get to see this often. And so I think that's one of the unique challenges as well. I believe this game comes down to, does Philadelphia blitz them? If they do, advantage Washington. And then can Philadelphia stop the 4th down plays? If they can stop the 4th down plays, Philly wins this game comfortably. If they convert a couple of them, we will have a ball game with minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Let me ask what might be an overly simple question, but I think it's what a lot of fans would wonder who would just watch the Eagles play. The best player on the field
Jalen Carter.
is Jalen Carter. what he specifically does well, which is just wreck the interior of the defensive line. I'm dropping things. Wreck the interior of the defensive line, and somehow inexplicably they seem to forget to block him a couple of times last week, and he ruined the end of the game. Is that particularly effective, or less so against a quarterback like Daniels?
Well, it's less so against the style of protection Washington uses. Now, reminder, they lost their right guard, Sam Cosmi. That does matter, but I do think in the run game, because of the no huddle, they can manage it. In the pass game, normally I'd say Greeny, absolutely. What Washington does in their pass protection is they just slide everybody. So from one side to the other side, they just go left to right, everybody slides over. If you watch, they don't deal with a lot of internal pressure in Washington because of that. It's only like, hey, somebody outside. So I think that minimizes Carter just a little bit.
So let's go bigger picture then, Shefty. The X's and O's and all that kind of stuff, and we all know these games sometimes come down to something that no one could possibly see coming. The impact that Jayden Daniels has had on the league, on this franchise, like this was a rivalry. It's funny, we were hesitant to call this a rivalry before. This has been a rivalry for 100 years. The Washington has just been so bad for so long. They haven't been good enough to be anybody's rival. He has resurrected a foundational franchise in the National Football League.
Well, he is, to me, the football gods have struck back at Daniel Snyder. And they've said, we are going to reward you for the years of suffering that this city and this franchise have been through. And now they are on the brink of doing something that we haven't seen. We've never seen a rookie quarterback get his team to the Super Bowl. But we've already never seen a rookie quarterback lead his team to 6 come-from-behind victories when he was trailing in the fourth quarter. We've never seen a rookie quarterback who was part of a team, or wasn't part of a team, that last year this team was the second worst team in the National Football League. The only time we've ever seen teams go from the second pick in the draft to going to the Super Bowl were the Bengals in the 1980s and the 49ers in 2019. So we're talking about historical things here, and he has a chance to one-up everybody and put himself into an altogether different category with one more, well, 2 more wins, forget about, but 1 more win puts him in an area where we essentially are talking about him for the 2 weeks up to the Super Bowl, and it becomes the Jayden Palooza.
An amazing part about it, when you watch him, and you mentioned it earlier, he's so composed. You're watching him on the sideline against the Buccaneers and the game-winning field goal. He's just chilling. It's like there's not a big deal, and it seems like everything this team has gone through, even in that last Eagles matchup, they're down 21-7 in that game, and there's no flinching, no blinking from him or this Commanders team. And I always say it, and I speak from a defensive perspective. When you have a quarterback, you have a guy like that, the belief that surrounds the locker room and the entire organization, everybody just puts a little bit more effort knowing that with that guy at the helm, we have a legit chance.
He gets into the Patrick Mahomes world. When Patrick went on his first run, everybody said, we got to go get a guy that can beat that guy. He wins this weekend. He might be already there. He wins this weekend. Everybody in the NFC has to go, we got to go get one that can go beat that guy.
Yep. All right, we will see if anyone is able to figure out how to beat that guy. In the meantime, Chef, do the hips feeling loose? How you feeling? You
Keep
feeling
them
loose?
hips right, Chef. It's time, baby.
It is time?
It's time.
This is
so good.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.